You just lost a child, and you both just wanted me? Right away, just like that?
It's complicated.
It's something people say when they don't want to tell the truth.
The show that made you laugh and cry uncontrollably returns tonight. After a year of waiting, This Is Us premieres Season 2 at 9 o'clock right here on News Center. Tonight's episode is about adoption and the tough choices that come with adding a member to your family. Now, the topic of adoption can be a very emotional one. In Maine, there are more parents looking for babies than there are babies in need of parents. Penny Collins is with Adoption Partners of Maine. Their job is to work with Maine women who are experiencing a crisis pregnancy, which is an unplanned pregnancy or someone thinking about adoption and pairing them up with Maine adoptive families. The process can be expensive, it can be long, and it can be very emotionally draining as well as fulfilling.
You have to be aware that it's not going to be easy, it's going to take a while. It's not a hero's activity. You know, real people and real grief and joy and love is involved. It's a beautiful thing, but it's complicated.
Another variable that can make adoption complicated is when you're a foster parent. If you want to adopt your foster child, you have to start from the very beginning.
Yeah, it's new sets of fingerprints, new home studies, new interviews, all of it. Here is one family's journey through that process. Just as Kate Sinclair's life was falling apart, someone she had not yet met was about to help put it back together. Kate's son Kyle had spent the first 9 months of his life in the NICU at Maine Medical Center. He had over 45 surgeries and spent a good part of his life in hospitals before passing away at just 8 years old. It was toward the end of Kyle's life that Kate came up with the idea to apply to become a foster parent.
And so I thought, if I get my license, I can apply for kids that need medical help that, you know, those aren't the kids at the top of the list that people want to adopt, unfortunately. And that's sort of pretty much where it came.
Deciding on being a foster parent fulfilled the need that Kate had, but then it was time to sell the idea to her other children.
For them, it was confusing, and they weren't very excited about it in the beginning.
I so wasn't having it. I wanted nothing to do with Willow at first. I think that I was more against it than anyone else in the family.
2 days after getting her license to be a foster parent in the mail, Kate got a call. There was a baby girl weighing 4 pounds and suffering from severe withdrawal due to drug use by her birth mother that needed help. Just like that, baby Willow was on her way to the St. Clair's house for what at first was to be temporarily.
As hard as it's going to be on me or you or whoever does it as an adult, you have to put that aside. Because this child is either coming from a very difficult situation or has just been born and is probably coming from a difficult situation, and they need your love.
After about 6 months of foster care, it became clear that reuniting Willow with her birth mother would not be happening. The St. Clairs decided to start the process of adopting the little girl who had helped make their family whole since she came through the door.
When you go from foster parenting to adoption, you have to start completely over. People say a lot and joke that it's harder to obviously adopt a baby than it is to have one of your own. That's a 100% true statement. It is a lot of work. And it should be to some extent because you don't want these kids just going to anybody.
The process of going from foster parent to adoptive parent can be very time-consuming and emotionally draining. But 3 years after meeting Willow, she finally became an official member of the family, making it all well worth it.
I think adopting is a really good thing. It puts children that are in tough times or like don't even have a mom or dad into good houses, and I think if somebody was thinking about adopting, I think I'd say do it.
We have the most unconventional family, but I wouldn't change it in a second because she's so happy and she's so loved, and to me that's what matters.